Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4C Markets. This is Alejandro. I am your personal investor. I'm going to be telling you some very exciting things today. And I have, as always, my co-host, Serhii. Serhii, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm good. Hope also audience is good as well. So, Alejandro, today I think it will be really interesting to look at our portfolio, how it performs. You have updated the algo. So, which assets we are in, which assets we have left, and what's the situation?
Exactly. And the reason why this is so exciting is because I've been working on this algorithm for a very long time, but I didn't have a mathematician at my disposal previously. So it makes like a huge difference when you're talking about theory and you have because I'm all about application. So then when I bring the theories to Sari is telling me but this is the way that the theory works, and then I tell him, okay, yeah, but when you're testing the theory, this is actually what happens. And then we come together, we bring our minds together, and we're like, oh, you know what, if this is what the results are showing and the theory is showing this is the gap, this is the bridge that we have to compensate for, right? So
Absolutely.
this is what we did. This is what we did. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about the algorithm. I have been presenting this algo now for a little bit of time on the channel. So for anyone who's joining us for the first time, the way that the algorithm works is it creates a kind of a cube, and inside of this cube you have a particle, and this particle can be thought of as a wave, right? And the wave collapses into a single unit once you take a measurement. That's basically how things work, right? You don't know what it is until you measure it. Okay. So what happens is that this particle is the 5-day return of a stock, 5-day rolling return. And the cube is everything that's happening around that 5-day return. When you measure it, that collapses into an equator that is telling us whether this is vertically positive or vertically negative. That's literally it in its simplest terms. There's a lot of mathematics that go behind it for you to be able to measure that. But in essence, that's what happens. So today we're going to be showing you the returns on this. We basically put $1 million to work on this automatically. We haven't touched it. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you what it has done in 2 weeks after it took $300,000 from that 1 million and invested it. Okay.
So
And
basically, like to make it clear, we are not trading with full whole 1 million, but we are basically like your algo is selecting like 300,000 of this, which is allocated, correct?
correct. So as you see here, we basically have a buying power of $2 million. We have on margin, we have 1 million. In cash, we have 613,000. So what does that translates to? That translates into we deposited $1 million. We got margin for 1 million, and we invested $387,000 or so. Help me out. You're better at math than I am. So 1 million minus 613 is what, about 387,000 approximately?
Yep, correct. Exactly.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we invested 387,000 and it's been invested for 2 weeks. So we're just gonna do quick math here. If you take $17,000, right? That's what we have here, 17,000. So we're just gonna do 515.06, and we divide it by 386. And what is that? Like 386,700 approximately?
202.
200. People are probably looking at me going
That's
like,
it, yeah.
dude, this guy can't do like basic arithmetic. Well, neither could Albert Einstein, okay? So, anyone out there looking at me going like, you can't do basic arithmetic.
Yeah,
Just remember Albert
292,
Einstein.
and that's good.
Yeah? 29. All right. Just say that, right? 29?
No,
No,
292.
Yeah,
You have
22. Okay.
708, yes.
So this gives us in 2 weeks, this gives us that return, right? So let's go ahead and just confirm this. So we're going to do 1 million minus 613,708.67. So that's 386. We're going to bring up a new calculator here. Just very rudimentary tools. We're going to take 17,257.23 divided by 386.
So this is ROI and divided by
Yeah.
total invested amount, right? So
21.3.
basically you are
Correct.
calculating the return of the
I am
actual
calculating
allocated investment.
Correct. I am calculating the return in a 2-week period. So this gives us, if we multiply this times 100, that means that in 2 weeks we have made 4.46%, where most banks give you maybe 3 to 4% over a year. We have made that in 2 weeks. So if we
Let's
multiply that by
approximate to the whole year. So we have 26.
116%. We are making 116% yield with this algorithm, which is super
By the way,
exciting.
why have you multiplied it by 26? Can you elaborate to the
Oh,
audience?
because since there's 52 weeks in a year and we have invested for 2 weeks, then if you take 52 and you divide that by 2, you get 26. And so then you take your percentage that you've gained in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
which is 4.4%, you multiply by 26, or you can also divide this by 2 to get 2 weeks and then multiply it by 56.
So
No, wait,
basically
52?
2%, 2.2 weekly percent.
Correct.
This is amazing.
Equals to 2.2 weekly percent gain on your investment. That means, this basically means that, like, if you start with $5,000, literally 5,000, let's go ahead and divide this by 100. And we're just gonna, divide it by 100. We're going to divide it by 100. If you multiply this by, you just have $5,000 you invested, you don't touch it for a whole year. A year later, I didn't do that right.
Yeah, you did it right. It's like profit.
Oh
It's
yeah,
profit
your
on top.
profit would be $5,807, right?
So basically, you will
So
end up with $10,807 in total.
correct. So if you start with 5,000, your profitability on that would be 5,900. I am so excited. I am just going out of my mind with this. So I'm gonna do these numbers again, right? So right now we are at, okay, so it dropped a little bit, 16,129. Okay. So we're gonna do 16 because the day is progressing. 6,129.36 divided by our total investment of 386,291.33. That gives us 4.1 because it dropped a little bit. And then we are going to multiply this by 26. That is 108 return. So if you take this and you literally invest 5,000, at the end you'll end up with
Basically
times
doubling your money.
5,000. This is 5,400 plus your original investment. You would end up with $10,428, right? In initial investment plus return.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's okay.
So what is the algorithm actually doing? Well, let's go ahead and find out,
Yeah,
because
what's
that's
the
really what's
magic
exciting.
behind and how is it doing? It's
Yeah,
really interesting
exactly.
to
So
dig
we're
deep.
gonna look at, we're gonna look at the positions that we are right now. So basically, the algorithm has decided that it is going to invest in these 4 stocks, and it decided this over a lot of calculations. Over
So
the
across all of the universe of 3,000 assets, it has selected
correct,
for this exact trio only these 4, correct?
it's isolated only these 4 stocks over the last 4 weeks.
And
So
we
how did
still
it
do
get
not
to it?
analyze news automatically. This is crazy.
No, it's not.
It's like just
So what's been happening?
fundamentals and neural
Correct.
networks and all of the rest. And your
Yeah,
formula,
fundamentals,
magic
neural
formula.
networks. That's literally what's been happening. So what happened was that on April 13th, this is when I created the purchase, and then at the exact same time when purchases are created, it generates a trail stop. This is basically saying that if a certain event happens that creates a price that the system believes is either a hold price or an exit price, it takes an action, right? So a trail stop is saying you have made a certain amount of money over time, so now we are going to protect your profits. So that's what a trailing stop does. So over time, the code automatically updates the trail stop, and it also trims the account, right? Because you don't want to have one particular stock controlling your entire market or your entire portfolio. What you want to do is you want to have multiple stocks and multiple sectors so that you're diversified. And the system, well, a lot of times if you have a stock that becomes very powerful, that stock could end up consuming all your money. And now if there's like a really bad event for that one stock, it takes your whole portfolio down with it. So what does the code do? The code says, I am going to protect your assets by trimming. So that's why you see all this transaction here. where some of them are like very large transactions and some of them are like very small transactions, right? Like trending stop, sell 53 target. So that's basically saying that, sell 53 shares of target because we're going to be trimming your account. And as you can see, it says access key here. All of this was done through API and it was completely automatic. Like we didn't touch it, So how nice is that? You turn this on, you go chill for 2 weeks, you come back 2 weeks later, you're $17,000 richer, you know? It's like, what you do this 2 weeks, nothing. I chilled at Bali. It's like, oh, did you work? No, the algorithm worked for me. Like that's what it did. So
Yes, this is the dream
yeah.
for like having automated trading system, right?
Exactly. This
Becoming
is
a
literally an
reality.
automated trading system. And so this is what happened yesterday. This thing runs every day at about 2 p.m. because that's very close to market closing time in New York. So these were the positions that were purchased. These were positions that we already had. Like BK, I remember, was one of the original stocks that we started with. So if you'll notice, it's like the very first stock that we bought and we'd be just holding it, right? We just like trim it. We trim a little bit here. It's like, okay, sell 60 shares because it's getting too big, don't own too much of it. Same thing with MA, saying like, you don't want to own too many of them. So we're going to just trim it a little bit. Okay. So what does that mean? So we're going to start with BKR, which is Baker's and Hughes company. And then as you can see, like over the last 24 hours, this thing has just like spiked, right? It went from 63 all the way to 67, and then it's settling back down at 66. And we're going to look at some news to see if there's any real reason why, or if the
Yeah,
code
it would
says
be
that we
really
could
interesting to see like what has caused this
yeah,
growth. Was there any specific?
exactly. And we don't know. We like started recording this so that we would be just as surprised as everyone. Same thing with this one, like monolithic power systems. We started this today at 1584 and now it's at 1643. So this is one of the new stocks that the system entered, and it's just it's been going up nonstop.
Can you
Then we had
show to the users on the plot where exactly the entry should have happened? Where is the
yeah, of
spot?
course. So we're gonna do MPWR. So we're just gonna do here MPWR, and we bought it yesterday. Or the system decided to buy it yesterday, and right after
At
it
11
bought,
a.m.
yep, at 11 a.m. That's when it was purchased. This is 11 a.m. Washington time, so it's actually 2 p.m. New York time. By the way, this is capturing like the location where I was at when this was purchased. So this is Seattle, Washington. So, anyways, so MPWR, the system recognized that an event was going to happen. We bought it yesterday, and now it's at 1643, right? Like it just knew that somehow. It knew that because the algorithm knew that. Okay. Then if we do M, this one's been kind of interesting because over the last month, it's been doing a lot. Like it's been moving up and down, and it's just, basically having a field day. I think this froze, so let's do M here since it's gonna. So you see that in 1 month when we started purchasing 802, now it's all the way up to 858. The first purchase was on April 13th. So if we go here and we check the very first purchase, M, April 13th, like the system knew that this was gonna go up in price. And then the last one is gonna be Bank of New York. So if we look at this one over a month, if we go here, BK, and we check it for a month, April 13th, it was right here, 127. Now it's at 134. It's just been going up, and we continue to hold it, right? So the system, like one of the other ones that it told me to buy was Citigroup. So I went ahead and filled the order, and then it exited, I think yesterday or the day before, because I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I guess, the system's going to get out of Citigroup. So sure enough, it did. Okay. So what is the next thing that we want to show? We want to show the news, because why are these things happening, right? Like, is there something specific in the news that we should know about?
Yeah.
So we're going to
It
start
will be really
with Baker
interesting to see some
Hughes.
kind of correlation
Yeah,
between like
exactly.
the entries and if some event has triggered and was covered in the news or not.
So this is Baker Hughes. Let's see when we bought it. BKR. So we're going to do BKR here. The first time we bought it was yesterday, as we had said earlier. right? And what happened between yesterday and now? Reaches new 1-year high after strong earnings. So, okay. So the code said to buy this right before earnings call. Somehow it knew that it was going to do great at earnings call. So we bought it, right? We bought it
And
right
it
before
doesn't have
earnings.
access to the news.
No, it
So
does
this
have
is like
access to the
basically
news.
fundamentals
Yeah, exactly. It's just
and
fundamentals and
price
technical
behavior.
data. Fundamentals and fundamentals would be coming from the news. It's actually technical data coming from like volume and how it's doing against the benchmark, how it's doing against the S&P 500. A lot of things go into that equation. It says that it's going to be paying dividends of 23 cents. It said that about 20 hours ago. That was around the time when the algorithm picked it. So it would have seen a spike or a drop based on this 23 cents a share announcement, right? Because when you have an announcement for a dividend, there's a correction on the price, which is usually equal to the same amount of the dividend, and it usually goes down by that much. Okay. And 6720, that's what it is. Okay, so then monolithic power systems, same thing. We bought it on this is what we've been looking at. Bought it yesterday, and look at that, today it spiked. So what happened? It says that Capital Management LLC sells 1,151 shares. I look at monolithic power systems, valuation and earning optimisms. So, just earning optimisms about an hour, about a day ago. But again, the code doesn't really have access to this. So I wouldn't really know. And I don't see anything here that's impressive, that's saying like, you should really, really buy this. There's another news here that says that it's overvalued after a 4.6% rally. This was about 18 hours ago.
This is interesting, but all this news doesn't look like super positive, right?
No, there's nothing positive or negative, but the system just
Yeah,
knew
it's
that
like if it's overvalued, so it's more like negative
right.
signal. So
It
it's the
would actually
same
go
as
down, but it's actually going up. So the
yeah.
algorithm was able to predict that. And then if you look at Bank of New York, same thing, right? April 13, it's been going up. Is there anything impressive in the news? Some controllers sold 6,000 shares of this. Senior EVP General Counsel sold a bunch of shares of Bank of New York. So people like, this is basically insider trading. People are just getting rid of some of the shares, but one person's sell is another person's gain, right? So the code said, hey, you know what? Shares are good to buy. We're going to buy this and we're going to be trimming them. So, and then the last one is MCore. We're looking at this one earlier. It dropped a little bit and then it went back up. So I do remember, like, after I bought this on the 13th, I noticed that the system sold it because it hit one of the trail stops, and then it bought it again later around here once it recovered, and then it's been holding ever since. So it's been making good money on it. So what does that tell us about the algorithm? Well, it basically tells us that the algorithm has insights into the market without actually being able to look at the news. The algorithm that we built, Serhii and I, that we built together when we were, exchanging ideas. Because I mean, this guy is like, I was impressed with some of the things he was showing me. And as we were building this, we were looking at all the numbers and everything that was happening. Oh, look at that! We're about to hit 18,000. We're just looking at the numbers, and we were like, okay, what is this telling us? And we saw that there was really good ability for profit. So that is what we built, and this is what we're going to be continuing to show in our show, in our podcast. We're going to be showing this. And also we just hit 18,000. Look at that. You see the price, like the price is going up as we talk. Like, I can't make this up, dude. You guys are looking at this.
It's so interesting, like when we usually stop for recording podcast, you like hundreds of, oh, look at this, it's dropping
Yeah, look at
up.
that. It's recording. Like, because I
It's
get
just like
excited.
in
I get
real,
excited.
in real
Yeah.
time during the recording.
Yeah.
This is cool.
It's like short attention span, Well, whenever I see money coming in, actually, I'm thinking in the back, what am I gonna buy? What am I gonna buy? $17,000 first class ticket somewhere. I've been thinking about
Bali?
Bali, yeah, Bali.
Nice.
Oh no, it's dropping. It dropped by $200. But let's see how well it does next week. Oh, it goes back up again. Look at that. I could stare at this number all day, just going up. So, anyways, so what's the point of all this? The point is that we created this algorithm, And we are in the process of putting systems together that will allow this to become available to the public. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to be presenting technologies that is going to allow people to log into our website and trade with us the way that we trade. Everything's going to be super transparent. It's Porcy Markets. It's a platform that we're, developing for the very purpose of staying on top of everything that we need to do in order to bring this technology to our audience, because we want you guys to make money with us. And that's everything
Absolutely.
we had for the show today. So I'm sorry, I have not allowed you to say a single thing. Tell me something that you want me to show, or something you want to say about this.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated like how it's ending up. And we are still in the progress of research and development of everything. So as everyone can see that we are like running at the moment our algos on the BKR markets, which is platforms that allows to have paper trading accounts. And via API to send like orders and to verify that basically which what we are doing, like there is no errors on our side. There is no like things that we have made up. So basically it gives you capability without having $1 million literally to see how the portfolio will perform on real trades. So
Yeah,
yes, and we are excited. So
exactly.
hopefully like in the nearest future, we will have similar functionality on our first market platform
Yeah,
and
and
the users will be able to enjoy it as well as we do.
yeah, exactly. And that's what we're working towards, making sure that our audience gets access to all of these tools that we're building. And that's why we have this podcast to start marketing for all of these things that we're putting together. So I would say this is probably my favorite episode so far, just because I made so much money on this. That I'm just like super super excited about it. So if you like our show, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit like. We're gonna continue to bring these types of algorithms to you, and we are making lots of progress on our research and development in order to bring this platform to our audience so that they can connect to Forcing Markets.
Absolutely. And write in the comments what you like the most, probably what you don't like the most. So we also have the feedback and improve over the next iterations. And thank
Yeah,
you all
exactly.
for watching.
Thank you all
Have a
for
nice
watching,
day.
and we'll see you next time.